Welcome and hello and welcome and hello and welcome and hello. Thank you for joining me on an extremely special, groundbreaking, earth-shattering edition of UN POCO MAS, the show for tiny wing gamblers, show for people who like to leave it all on the field, show for people who like to invest their life savings into idiotic stocks. No, so honestly, SoFi, I think, is one of the safest possible places you could park your money over the next decade. The growth is just extraordinary. But I just want to go over kind of what we're looking at in terms of interest rates. What does that mean for various stocks? What does it mean for the market in general? What does it mean for people? Is it going to help with your tiny wing? Probably not, but anything's possible. If we visualize an attack, perhaps we can get you straightened out there. No pun intended. What's going on, Clap My Dog? Let's fucking go indeed. Guys, it's UN POCO MAS. I'm not going to do nicknames or anything. Nobody new ever watches this channel. I get negative subscribers. It's honestly funny. Like, I don't want subscribers. I kind of know everybody watching, everybody commenting, so it's just a niche audience. It's not even a cult audience. It's like it's a non-existent audience, but that's the UN POCO and UN POCO MAS. Anyway, let's talk about these stocks, guys. I don't want to go on all day. I'm just extremely tired. But people are wondering, what should they do? Should I dump my SoFi here? It didn't hit the actual all-time high like I said it would yesterday. I think it came up I don't know, 20 cents short or something of where it touched, I think, on the 9th, when it really pumped there. But anyway, the fact is it closed. I think that's the highest it ever closed. I'm not sure. I didn't really go back over it. But the bottom line is it's going to break down the all-time high. I think it's going to break down 30. And we're in a position with these sort of SPAC darlings. Of course, SoFi was like the opposite of a SPAC darling for so long. They just irrationally destroyed the stock with narratives that were 180 degrees from the truth. Like what? That for years it was the impending defaults that were just going to send the company into bankruptcy. The defaults. Oh my God, the defaults. Higher for longer. SoFi's doomed. Apple and Goldman Sachs Marcus retail banking product are going to crush SoFi. Anthony Noto's like, hold my beer while we just dominate and grow. Anyway, so if you look at the chart, I don't think this is it. You notice volume still coming up. I don't know exactly where it was today, but I think it was right in that ideal zone again. Like it's been there over and over, like right around 70. Yeah, it's 70 million again, which is just absolutely perfect. And then you see the stock, it recovered yesterday, just bounced off the support there. And today it tested the top, and it was rejected there again, but it closed very, very strong above 28. And in my opinion, this is not how rallies end. I don't see shorts, having an appetite to really go after the stock because sentiment has just shifted 180 degrees. And you don't want to attack. You can attack a retail darling because, we're weak-kneed, broke ass, trifling, no account douchebags. And you can shake us off a stock like, taking a stick from a hound dog. You know what I mean? Know what I mean? Know what I mean? No, actually, don't try to take a stick from a hound dog. And get your ass chewed up. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I used to work in dog rescue. Ow! People are like, no, the dog bites. No, it's okay. Dogs love me. You got bit, huh? Yeah, I'm shocked. Well, told you the dog bites. Well, but you're special. Not going to bite you. All your good karma and such. But look, lo and behold, it bit you anyway. So looking at the short, they shorted 1.5 million shares today, it looks like, and they borrowed an additional net borrowing of 7.4 million shares. So they're reloading a little bit, but I wouldn't. This thing's giving me such a headache. Anyway, let's see if I have a cap, perhaps a headband. I've had a headache for like, I don't know, 6 months. That'd be a problem. No, not really. I just feel like I haven't slept in years. Oh, just foggy, you know? Can't hold a note, can't carry a tune. Anyway, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but if you look at the overall short interest, it just doesn't look like they're ready for a fight. Yes, it's come off of 40 million shares on loan back up to 70, and the short interest has come from like 98 back to 101. But to me, when a stock is just on a bull run and you don't know where it's going to end, I mean, yes, they can short the stock. Anything's possible, but I just don't think this is going to be one that they just keep beating up on, because the writing is on the wall. I think anyone who's intellectually honest can see, based upon the growth, the business model, the execution, how the customers respond, how SoFi is able to take advantage of different opportunities in the media and the sports world, the sponsorship world. All these seeds that they've planted are just starting to bear fruit. And I think, like I said, over the next 10 years, this is the place to be. If you want growth, if you want profits, if you want security, if you want, as close as you can get to a sure thing, the financial services market is just absolutely massive. And all SoFi has to do is just sit there and just drink surface water, because they're better at what they do than these mega banks, and I think they're better at what they do than other fintechs. It's a customer oriented company, a technology oriented company. They want to help you get your money right. And other financial institutions and other companies that need loans and to originate, they're coming to SoFi. They're going to do that with other things too, because SoFi, excuse me, filtered water. Blah blah blah. I've said all this crap till I'm blue in the face. Something interesting with IOVA, I just wanted to show you. I tell you guys how this happens, and I see it over and over, but this is just a glaring example. So Citadel, as you guys know, is like the biggest, kind of most powerful hedge fund out there, and they make the most money. A lot of people think, and they short stocks all the time. They're all usually short long. Well, here's an interesting one with IOVA. So they're short with a put from $10.81. Okay, just keep that in mind, like 600,000 shares. They just trimmed it by 15%. Now, if you look at institutional longs, what do you see? What happens? They force the shares down. So you come down here, Morgan Fudley loading up. Everybody just barely trimming. Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, they're all trimming between 5 and 10%. No big deal. Morgan Fudley increasing their position 61%, Goldman trimming by 14. But the one I wanted to show you is this one, is Citadel. So they increased their long position 137% to 4.1 million shares, and their cost basis is $5.08. So when they're pushing the stock down from 11, then they try to basically flip and go long from 5. But, they didn't count on 2. They probably did, but they're probably up to all sorts of shenanigans right here. Got somebody drag them out back and beat the living hell out of them. Hold on, guys. Welcome and hello to me. Welcome and hello. It's UN POCO MAS. Welcome back. You guys were here anyway, those of you who stuck around. Anyway, I think it was some Jehovah's Witnesses or something at the door. No, it was QT. But anyway, so this is just a perfect example of how they work these stocks. Like, well, they must not like the stock. They're short. Oh, all of a sudden they love the stock. because they had a bad quarter. And it has nothing to do with that. They want to basically buy low, sell high, or, you know, do it in the reverse order. It doesn't really matter. They can sell high first and then buy low later, which is, you know, obviously what shorting is. But these guys don't guess, they don't play, and also they don't really care when it overshoots. Like if they're short from 11 and long from 5, it doesn't really matter to them if the stock goes to 2 if they know it's going to go back to 15 or 20 or what have you. That's the thing. Everybody, you guys are so worried all the time about the margins. I've seen this about prop. Somebody's writing in the comments about, oh my God, prop looks terrible. This is dismal. This is desperate. Why? What? It's price action, my friends. It's price action. It's the same company it was yesterday. It's the same company it was last week. It's the same company it was 6 months ago when, you know, institutions were loading at 6 and 7. And you have to, people who are so concerned about a stock like prop, look at the fact that they just increased the amount of banks that are on their credit facility. There's like 3 mega banks and a couple of regional banks in Texas. So people are taking a look at these resources who know exactly what they're doing and specialize in lending to the oil and gas industry. And they're saying, you know, they're giving these guys almost like blue chip terms because they know they're going to extract these resources. It's how fast they do it. Yes, that's very important to shareholders because they're going to bleed us with dilution and stock-based compensation, every other thing. Whatever else they can do. Buy each other Lambos on our dime. The board has approved Lambos for everyone down to the receptionist. We're going to do an offering at the market. We're going to basically take money out of the pockets of fat civilians and give it to our employees. Week. What's going on, Bobby Joe? How's it going? How did Carl Seamark know what? Carl Seamark knows all. The man is the mattress king of Chicago. Makes great innerspring, makes great gel topper. Little did you know, Carl Seamark produced the mattresses that go in all the Caesars hotels. Casinos have those mattresses specially made so you lose your money at the slots. The great Jared Matson has joined us. It is Un Poco Mas, good sir. It is Un Poco Mas. Show's great for people with long hair, people with backwards baseball caps. Great for tall people, short people, fat people. People with man boobs, people with big, oversized, ridiculous pecs. And those dudes, they got to get that like surgery under there because the boobs start to hang down. They got too much pec going. They were juicing or something. They were juicing, just doing constant like dumbbell presses, like Billy Blank's Tybo situation. And then the man boobs hit him. Then the man boobs hit you. You go in, you get stitched up. And then you look weird. You just look real weird. And you're getting too much sun. Just getting one of those sun gods here in Southern California. Shaking your deuce, you know. Wearing green pants, running around, looking good. You know how I do it. Or how somebody does it. Anyway, guys, I'm rambling as usual. I haven't really got a lot of sleep in so long. I don't really know what to do about it. And I know what you guys are going to go, bang, bang, all this. I'm trying all that, believe me. Princess Jay's had enough of me. No. There's all kinds of stuff, all kinds of things going. Quitting coffee was the worst mistake of my life. I blame Not a Lurker on that one. Oh, it's Chris. Oh my gosh, it's a party. 18 based on dilution, 250 million, probably going to even happen. Oh, are we talking? What are we talking? Are we talking prop? What are we talking? What are we talking? What are we talking? What do we got? What do we got? Let's talk. Let's just go down the line here. Just because it's been hit so hard, let's talk SMCI. Now, this is really nice. This is nice. I like it when I see this because it's nice. It's just nice. I like to see it. See how this kind of pivoted here? This little resistance line. Just a walk down, like you talk down. Formed a little base here, kind of made this little fake wedge I drew, and you saw it just perfectly, not only moved up off the wedge and above this line, but it actually just jumped and gapped up completely out of this channel for no reason. And you can see what we want to do with this stock is get out of here and get back up to here. See, we had a base here, a nice little base arena, little bass drum, little bass guitar. Well, hey, I play a 12-string bass. I wish there were more Ren fairs. There's very few places you can just man boob freely. The islands, Hawaii. Hawaii, I will just straight man boob. Without shame, without fear or favor. Ren fairs, it's almost expected you have man boobs if you're going to be a Ren fair guy. They won't even let you in if you're like cut up unless you're one of the knights. Make the rest of us tiny wing, pudgy, dudgy fudgies, chunky monkeys feel insecure, feel like you're going to take our wenches. Oh. Not to be confused with Alberto Bertie Avalez's nephew who took my wrenches. Still have no idea if he's a real person. I think it was just a second account. Somebody absconding with a wrench, just sitting out there, waiting, biding their time, waiting for UN POCO MAS to really blow up, and then just going to throw their monkey wrench in, just destroy the show. I'm going to send Not a Lurker to hunt them down, shave their head, send them home with no supper. Oh, guys, what the hell am I talking about? I really can't focus or think. I don't know if it's just no sleep, getting old, being a complete idiot from the jump anyway. But maybe a little sparkling water will cure what ails me. Maybe that'll make me not stupid. Helping make me not fat. And I think the effervescence kind of melts away the pounds. I feel like you're always on Alka-Seltzer. Like, oh, that's refreshing. Like 50 of these a day. You're just always burping. Plus the plastic ones aren't that classy. I want the one you pay like $11 for in a restaurant with that metal top. They bring it out like it's some kind of like bottle service. All the server can think is this asshole just paid $11 for a bottle of water. What a fat schmuck. Oh, I don't know, guys. I don't know sometimes. Listen, Juan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Name just rolls off the tongue, Juan. Let's talk about these. I didn't really have anything to say about SMCI. They're officially shipping Blackwell. The accounting, we just don't know what's going. Here's my prediction: they're going to try to keep it right in here. See, you're basing at 40, then you're basing around 47, then you were basing around 51, and you tried to form this kind of fruity little base here, 56, 57. But that was very disorderly. It was very un-Navy-like. Let your seamanship be unlovely. You guys watch Master and Commander? You must always choose the lesser of two weevils. I don't know. I thought that was a pretty good one. But I'm a Russell Crowe fan from way back. Fighting around the world. Come on, Tugga. Oh, boy. Anyway, so I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going to happen with SMCI, but the chart looks prime. Tested this area. I mean, going back months. Love this area, and it just doesn't want to go down from here. It doesn't matter, could announce that the CFO crapped his pants and, all the files were burned up in a, I don't know, birthday party accident. Oh, we had an office party. We were doing tequila shooters. Next thing I know, I burned up all the files. Damnedest thing. Not going to be able to send them over to you, SEC. It's like, Wiggy, we love you. We're not going to put you in prison. Don't worry. I already sold all my stock in prep. Like, no. I don't know. I don't honestly think anybody's going to jail. The reason that people are still willing to buy the stock, I think institutions are still willing to buy the stock, is that the sales are real. Their checks are clearing. It's just a big mess. It's like if you have a bunch of cables behind your TV and you got maybe you got a laser disc and you got a DVD, you still got a dual VHS player to dub your vacation videos, the grandkids to the, Grand Canyon or whatever the case may be. And, everything works, but it's just the cables are a complete mess. You could never recreate it. You could never, duplicate it. You just know it works and you just can't touch it. That's kind of the way I feel like their accounting is. It's just like they're doing post-its and they're writing checks and they're borrowing money. I feel like it's like running like some neighborhood florist shop or hot dog stand. And it's never matured from $1 billion company to a 20-30 billion dollar company. I don't even think it ever matured to $1 billion company. I don't think it ever matured past puberty. I don't think they matured past the level of like Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Tyra Banks issue. Know what I mean? Think you do. Think you do, gentlemen. Grew up in the 80s. You all know that Tyra Banks SI swimsuit edition. Don't lie. You all have a well-worn copy. But anyway, SMCI, I have no idea what's going to happen. I just like the price action here. It looks pretty strong. Came right off 39.40 and just made a nice little move. And there's good volume. There's good buying. It's not crazy. The chart looks good. There's nothing, I think there's only positives coming, to be honest with you, unless somebody, gets the handcuffs slapped on them or whatever. So there could be huge negatives. So that's why this, you get these risk reward profiles, and that's why initially the options were so cheap and that the options have got a lot more expensive because so many retail detectives are sniffing around the stock, sniffing the bleachers, sniffing the old laundry basket, sniffing the lint trap. So I don't know. Again, I don't know what this video is about. Somebody was asking about NEO. How high is NEO going to go? I have no idea. Let's talk about it. 76 million shares. Again, very, very nice chart. This is the algo trading the stock sideways. I personally think most retail is bag holding. I'm personally slightly green now because I average down real hard. But that's what I do. I'm a bottom feeder. When the stock's at its lowest low, that's when I just, mortgage the house, sell my last kidney, all my blood and semen, and I just go all in. You guys ever see that episode of Bar Rescue where the guy keeps saying he's all in? The guy's buddy, he's always drunk, like the manager. John Taffer almost kills him. Like, you made a suggestive remark to my daughter. Like, well, you sent her into a bar as a decoy and she has huge boobs, which you had just like completely hanging out. And I'm like a drunk degenerate. So what did you expect to happen, John Taffer? I don't embrace excuses. I embrace solutions. You guys want a Taffer top tip? It's spacing. Have one drink and then one glass of water. I love people that give like rational tips to like drunks in bars. I was the drunk in the bar for a long time and I worked in bars a lot too. A little bit of bartending, a lot of bouncing. When I say bouncing, I'm just sitting there on a stool drinking. But I've observed bar culture to no end, and it is just not pretty. There is a cast of characters in everyone. Like John Taffer is always shocked. Just useless degenerates running the bar. I'm shocked. I've never seen standards this low. You can't even make a pizza. My wife said the pizza wasn't fully cooked, and you made a suggestive remark. Stop sending your, well-endowed family members into a bar. Have you ever been to a bar? It's a bunch of drunk guys in there waiting for any woman to walk through the door so they can, immediately terrify and completely turn her off and get her to leave as soon as possible. Hey, let me ask you this. Do you have any friends I could gross out? Like, yeah, I have a lot of friends. I'm sure you'd gross them out. You're gross as hell. Yeah, women never come in this joint. Why do you sound like Mo Sislak? I don't know. The fat guy ran out of impressions. They all run together. Here he is, Mo, while you eat. What's up, Ghost? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I don't even know if they're jokes or just so much as a slow speed train wreck between a fat guy and an all-terrain vehicle. Remember those three-wheel ATVs back where you just immediately wheelie them over and smash your head on a rock, or if you go around a turn faster than 3 miles an hour, they just tip over and you smash your head on a tree. I think a lot of my brain damage is probably due to those three-wheel ATVs, go-karts, jumping out of trees for no particular reason, jumping off roofs, making stupid decisions many decades. Bounced for a bandito bar. Well, that must have been interesting. I've come across a few banditos, come across other one percenters more than banditos, but yeah, we didn't have a lot of one percenters in our. That's not actually true. We had some. They were pretty. They weren't looking to cause problems where they like to frequent, cause problems elsewhere. But we were like live music venues and different stuff. So plus we're like right across the street from the police station. So like Hermosa used to be like biker central. Hermosa Beach was like back when the pier was a loop. There was freaking choppers, around that whole. Now they closed the pier off. It's like a plaza. I don't live in Hermosa anymore. Got too old. Had to move to the burbs. But I used to live right next to Comedy and Magic Club. It was badass, dude. It's a great place to be young. Having too much fun. Yeah, it's a fun job when you're young, Jarrett. As you get a little bit older, I don't know, it gets a little bit trying, being up till 3, 4 in the morning, getting punched in the face. Like, I don't know where, it depends where you work, but dude, we got in this, we were in the shit a lot. With like kind of a rough, like live music venue with a sunken dance floor and a raised dance floor. It's like going into it's like a cell extraction or something. Big fight goes, you're just like, oh fuck, you're gonna get punched at least twice, but people punching you are gonna be, weak sauce douchebags, so it's not gonna hurt that bad. Can't punch them back though, really. It's not like Roadhouse where you're just beating everybody up. Plus, you can't just throw that many haymakers. Like, unless you really know what you're doing and you're super careful, you're going to end up like breaking your hand or your wrist or hurting yourself. It's not a smart way to fight, just throwing fists. I mean, if you're highly skilled and you like knock somebody out, that's one thing, but these like wild haymakers everybody throws, like, are you serious? Are you going to try to hit me with like the inside of your hand from like a windmill position? I'm not even going to acknowledge that. I'm not even going to try to defend that. I'm just going to ignore. Anyway, yeah, bouncing. What a turd. I mean, also, I don't know. It depends all where you work. But I had to like clean a lot of restrooms and like, dude, men in these bars are. I don't know what you're doing. Okay, I can see how you get urine on the ceiling, but how do you get blood on the ceiling? Like you're like doing what are you like suspending yourself by your knees upside down on the bathroom stall like a bat and then doing like a bloody snot rocket upward to the ceiling just to like amuse yourself? I don't even know how you do it. So you're just hawking a bloody loogie upward so it like drops down on somebody's head while the poor unsuspecting guy who unknowingly ordered the chili fries is stuck in there for a fortnight. Oh God, you guys know how it is. Oh my God. All right, should this show go on? What's going on? The great Jeremy Miller has joined us once again. Alfred E. Miller, how are you, sir? Carl Seamark has 1,500 Neo and a few options. Every other person on YouTube is Baron von Ridgefuck with 40K or more. I don't have that many. I don't know what I have. I have a lot of. I switch between shares and options sometimes. Not on Sofi. Sofi I'm just hold for sentimental reasons. But yeah, I have quite a bit of Neo. Definitely, a strong 6-figure position. Strong. I might have 50,000 shares. I don't really know. I got to count up so much bullshit. Not really sure. I think I have something around 50,000. Can't say is for sure, but anyway. I'm swimming in Nebius. Crazy story. Yeah, everybody's talking about that. I don't know it. I don't know it, Jeremy. Yeah, hold SoFi for smart reasons. Yeah, I mean, people are saying, should I take some profits on? So I'm not mad at anybody taking profits if that's your game plan. I'm just not, it's just not me. I don't want to sell SoFi under 30. I feel like they held it down at 4 and 5 for so long. It should go up to 40 and 50. Yeah, I know that's totally irrational and stupid, but that's how I feel. That's how I operate. That's my modus operandi. Stupid, superstitious, supercilious. Biscuits and gravy, they call me. Biscuits and gravy. Was Yandex expensive engineers when they invaded Russia? Interesting. Got to hold SoFi until at least 45. Yeah, I'm gonna want to be around for 100 too, but I got to lose weight in order to make that up. It's not going to be SoFi that's not going to get there. It could be me. Been here almost 4 years. I can wait for me. Yeah, Chris, I plan to wait, till I'm retired, till I need the money, till I want to, buy a house, something along those lines, But I'll still just use it as collateral and keep my shares anyway, because I think SoFi is going to grow for 20, 30 indefinitely. Just keep taking market share, keep getting more brand awareness, et cetera, et cetera. I can buy it back at a discount. What's that? Your youth invaded Ukraine. Yeah, let's get that straight, J Mac. Let's see. Anybody else here? The great Carl Seamark, of course, checking in with the great Kitty Wentworth. Norm McDonald. If you're talking about Norm McDonald, that's a huge compliment. If you're talking about Norm from Cheers, what are you up to, Norm? My ideal body weight if I was 9 feet tall. I take that. I'm insulted, Katie. I'm insulted. Billy Jack, Semper Tyrannis. Indeed, Billy Jack, indeed. I love your jokes, Danny Boy. Thank you, The Ghost. We already read that one. Bobby Joe is pushing the creatine. It's a gateway drug. Before you know it, you're on the ashwagandha and testosterone, full-blown roid head. Yeah, just do a couple of cycles. No big deal. No problem. Everybody's in there. Yeah, that's how he's lifting those dumbbells that, low body weight, high reps, high weight. What kind of program is that? Yeah, I do high reps, high weight. I'm a light guy. It's just it doesn't really add up. But hey, they call me Clark Kent. Yeah, I kind of covered it. Javier, not really. It was totally incoherent. You probably couldn't glean much from it, but if you could, congratulations. You must be some kind of psychopath, helter-skelter type. If you don't drink coffee, try creatine. Creatine. I took creatine for years. I used to lift weights like 3 hours a day for years and years. Total psycho. Put creatine in everything. Like, what is that? Sweet and low? No, it's creatine. Like, what is that? Like, salt? No, it's creatine. I was taking tons of creatine, but yeah, I don't know. Right now, I'm probably low T, low E. I'm man boobing. I'm pear shaped. All of the above, basically. Guilty. Who else is here? Mark Richard is here, of course. Hold my mini water. Mark Richard, are you the chef guy? No. Who's the chef guy? Where's the chef guy? The guy who made the cheddar jalapeno waffle video. I think he's a subscriber. That guy, he gets me hyped, dude. He gets me amped. I went out and I just beat the living hell out of 3 or 4 foreign exchange students. I just go off, dude, when I watch that. I really like this guy's cooking channel. Seriously, it's good. I don't know why. I think it's called like In the Kitchen PC or something. I can't remember, but I'm a fan. All right, well, giving props. Yeah, I'll go back through it. I've actually been really studying the dilution possibilities, and I don't think it's that bad. I still think prop is way undervalued. I don't think I think this is price down, walk down price action stuff, mechanics, shorts. Like I said, look at what smart money's doing. Look at what insiders are doing. I know everybody was freaking out because Bayswater dumped their shares, but they could have had a predetermined plan for that. They could have another, I know they don't need capital immediately, but they could have had another plan. They could have another asset they want to acquire. They could be trying to harvest tax losses. I know that sounds crazy, but it's not. If you pay a lot of taxes, then it's not crazy at all. I mean, if they thought it was going to go way back up, they wouldn't have sold. I mean, there was some strategic, thinking about the price action, obviously, to dump down there, but it's even lower now. So misery loves company. But I have been studying and studying and studying and studying props since it was a stock that was recommended to me. And I threw out what I'm buying. I threw out, there's a few other stocks I'm buying, but I'm just hesitant to throw them out because they're these little micro caps. And you're probably going to lose all your money. You're going to blame me. Little voodoo dolls, stab it into my fat gut belly. My one good testicle. Okay, so did we say anything about Neo? Not really. Fundamentally, we know they're in a very good place. Things are taking off. Question mark. Are we going to see partner swap cars? Is CATL basically stringing us along until they can buy the swap network and energy business at pennies on the dollar because Neo's desperate? Because, all the help and partnership CATL promised them never materialized. Because all I hear about is Choco. All I hear about is CATL. I hear about is 10 different models. I don't hear nothing about Neo. I don't hear any, proppers for Big Bill Lee and his haircut. Sacrifices he's made with that haircut. I don't know. It's so obviously there's a huge bullish market sentiment coming off of $3, $3, $3.40, $3.50. But so what? I mean, a lot of our average costs are much, much higher than that. What's going to happen with this stock? Where's it going to go? Let's take a quick look at the chart. The chart still looks very bullish to me. I mean, it made a higher low. If you look at yesterday, the low was 706 and the high was 745. And then today the low is 721 and the high is 750. So although it did close lower, it made it higher low, higher high. Volume was down, just a hair, but volume still very much in a strong range. I just think this is one of those stocks, much like SoFi, that everything was against them. Overall market conditions, sort of, government regulation, competition, price wars. There's just all sorts of things that even if they're doing everything right, and they did a lot of things wrong. I think there's just too many models, too many distractions, too many vanity projects, too much overlap, too much spending, too much waste, too much fancy stuff, too much fine Scandinavian wood furniture at every Neo house. I mean, give me a break already. We're not selling furniture. The phone thing, okay, that kind of makes sense. But, it's a coffee shop where you can come and wax your balls. Like, who needs that? It's a car company. Stay in your lane. Stay focused. Stay efficient. Stay hungry. Don't, coat your office in rich mahoganies and leathers like Ron Burgundy or something. Sleep on the freaking floor. Like Elon. Go caveman. Oh, the great Payush Bhatka is here. Payush. What's going on, Payush? It's finally paid off, my friend. You're rich as hell. Payush is finally above the law. He has FU money. Anybody can be bought, and Payush can buy him. He throws a few SoFi shares at him. Hey, why don't you rip this ticket up? Here's a few shares. Hey, take good care of my luggage. Here's a few shares. Hey, park my Lambo in a good spot where I can see it. Here's a few shares. Oh, no problem, Payush. Should I wash it for you? Yeah, why don't you do that, Skip? Oh, God. Okay, so I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen with Neo. I'm not really going to talk about CRISPR. I'm not going to talk about open door because I'm just totally sick of this video. As far as CRISPR just ripping, what happened? Vertex, their joint 60/40 just got approval for reimbursement in Italy, and I guess they have about 7,000 patients that need this thing. So another very important market. And you say, oh, Italy's not a huge market. Every market is big. They're just doing, very few treatments right now, and each one is incredibly expensive. 7,000 might not sound like a big number, but for this market, for this company, it's a huge number. Very, very significant. I don't see anything pulling this stock down. They don't need to raise money right away. I think suitors are going to be coming to them, seeing if that slipper fits, because Vertex paid an awful lot for the first deal, perhaps too much, but whatever deal they make is going to be bigger than their entire market cap right now, especially if you take out the cash. You take out the cash, the market cap is only like 4 billion. So they don't really have any debt. And I know they're burning a lot of money, but they also do have actual revenues. So that's something none of these other CRISPR companies and gene editing companies can really say for the most part. But I'm more bullish than ever on CRISPR. They just got a new rating. I think it was JP Morgan. Came in at 70, I believe. It doesn't say here, but anyway, yeah, I think JP Morgan came in and initiated with a buy rating at 70. Shares held by institutions, 82% of the float. So ARK just bought a bunch more. BlackRock, all the usual players are there. So I'm extremely bullish CRISPR, guys. I'm extremely bullish Sofi. I'm moderately bullish SMCI, but I'm very bullish the company. I'm just not bullish the accounting. As far as Neo, I think Neo honestly is going to push up. I think they're going to, it's again, the coiled spring theory. I think it's going to go up and it's going to challenge around, what was it, 1070? I talked about it yesterday. I can't even remember. I got to study the chart and study all my bullshit and throw some chicken bones down on the ground and see where they land and make up a bunch of nonsense. But the great vegan sympathizer is here. They were for the luxury experience. The irony was sub-brand Envos. Exactly. Waterboard your voodoo doll with mini waters. Thanks, Mark Richard. Guys, thank you so much. Iking311, Jeremy Miller, the great Jeremy Miller, Josh Webb, because of the reimbursement Italy and MGL, phase 3, trial and rolling presentations. I agree with you. Dynamite farts 69. SoFi all-time highs, all-time farts. Indeed, farts, and farts. The great Payush. Thank you, Payush. Thank you, Ahmed. Ahmed S. Feel surprise announcement on Neo Day. I certainly hope you're right, Ahmed. The great Jeremy Miller, the great Chris. Thank you, Chris, Carl, Seamark, Josh Webb, all you guys. Low Country Luton Pond, of course, fine supporter of the show and my personal physician. The Ghost, anybody else I didn't get to, of course, Jarrett Matson, everybody else, Billy Jack, Vegan Sympathizer, Eddie Murphy, Eddie Martin, the rest of you turds, you bouncers, you Shoeshine boys, Bobby Joe, Carl Seamark, Richard Von Gittin Jr., Eddie Martin, Dan Sasek, Great Cool 69, of course, the great Clap My Dog. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. It's UN POCO MAS. Peace.